Nicole, and welcome back to the Southern Snack, where life is too short to be serious. All right, this is going to be an interesting video where I kind of like weave in and out and in and out, just with videos I took on my trip to Utah. Once again, such a fabulous trip. We did so much in one day. I don't think I have felt so excited about just all the events that went on in one day than what happened when I visited Utah. And so I really do hope to be out there again at some point. But yeah, Crumbl, amazing company, very amazing company. Shout out to Maddy. She drove us around the whole day. She's very enthusiastic. So I'm very excited to just dive into the details of the whole day. Unlike a lot of the other influencers that were there, I kind of just soaked it in. I like to kind of soak in a lot of things, and I'm not really huge into taking pictures or videos. Like, I feel like I do a good job at it, but I just like to kind of experience it and kind of describe it in my own way. But I will go ahead and, shout out again to Crumbl and Maddy, and then I'm just going to go ahead and mention those other influencers / content creators. If you want some more visual perspective on it, I encourage you to go check out their content, especially fellow YouTuber Tyler Ramey. I think it's the name, Tyler Ramey. Him and his friend, they are awesome. Just quite the duo. Him and this girl, they are just a hoot and a holler. Two different personalities that are just so fun. He's got a really fun 30-minute kind of vlog video from, going around Crumbl, the headquarters, to the ride, to where we, our pit stops. Very, very fun dude. Tyler, just a very flamboyant personality, and just his sense of humor, just so fun to be around. And then kind of moving on, so we had this girl named Bre and her boyfriend Canyon. I followed them on TikTok now. I forget what her thing is called. Most of y'all probably know who Bre is if you're on TikTok. But her and her boyfriend, they came along, so that was really cool meeting them. They've got I think she put a TikTok up there just touring Crumbl. So again, more looks on the inside of Crumbl from that perspective. The only video I took from was the downstairs. So when I cut this part, it's going to jump into the outside of Crumbl, and then the first floor. Then what I'll do is I'll describe kind of what I experienced there. But last but not least, is Nicole Axelrod was also there. She's very famous on TikTok. If you don't know her, more than likely you don't have TikTok. If you have TikTok and you follow Crumbl videos and you're watching this, you probably know exactly who Nicole is. Very awesome in person. We can already tell you, she's an awesome person on social media. The reason she's so, famous on TikTok is just because of the work she puts in and the personality she's got. Very bright future, whatever she plans on doing, but very, very cool person. Very humble too. She was talking about how, she was in the 100,000. We were hyping her up and everything. And she acted like that wasn't the biggest accomplishment in the world. Like she was just like, we're getting there. I was like, oh my goodness. All my platforms don't even compare. I don't have anything. I don't even have a video that has 300,000 views. So to kind of see her be so humble in that, that's kind of something to strive for. I try and stay humble, but in other ways, I get a bit hyped up when I see things for me kind of go up. But I really do hope to, at least have a fraction of that someday. But it was really cool, just the amount of hype and excitement that Crumbl brought into this event. Very last minute event, but I am so proud to have been able to be part of this. And I don't know, I really like the people that I met. And, you know, Maddy made this experience really special for everyone and brought together a really cool group. So we all meshed well, and I really hope that we keep in touch. So yeah, we will go ahead, jump into, you know, the videos I took of Crumbl. I didn't take much, and then I'll go ahead and talk about that.
We're ready to go. So yeah, and you need to change now.
All right, so there you saw pretty much the first floor and the outside. They just started renting this building, or I don't know if they bought it. I think they rent. But they've just moved in not long ago. So they're still transitioning. But just to kind of see the environment, like even from just moving in, you can kind of tell what kind of businesses it is, what kind of corporate headquarters it is. So first floor, not a lot to it. You've got the receptionist desk, and then you've got the really special place, the test kitchen, where we actually did get to try a couple of new cookies. I'm going to look into things. I don't know if I'm going to include that in the video, but we'll have to kind of gauge from there. I don't know if I want to disclose that. But so we go up the elevators. The elevators decorated with the cookies and everything, like big blown up pictures of cookies. So second floor is kind of their developmental floor. It's kind of where they're working with locations. They're making big plans for the whole company. And it's really cool just to see things. It kind of reminds me of, and I know not a lot of you would relate to this because you didn't go to school with me, but it kind of reminds me of East Campus Library, aka ECL, at JMU, where there's just a lot of working parts from this open floor with, you know, computer screens and desks. And then you've got these rooms that, you know, have TVs, you know, monitors, where you kind of can communicate with someone long distance. And so, you know, that kind of reminds me of JMU's library because you've got that same setup. You've got desks, computer screens, but then if you've got to kind of group it together with 1, 2, 3, 4 people, to brainstorm or to communicate things, to make observations, then you've got these rooms that are separated, and you know, it's a clean environment. You've got a nice little desk, you've got a bunch of chairs, and then that big old screen, and it's awesome. And I don't remember if there were whiteboards or not. I know at JMU there were whiteboards, which was really cool. Oh, there were whiteboards because I know there was a room with a whiteboard. So just to see that kind of commonality, you kind of see that this business, you know, it's on the younger side. It's got a lot of young employees that are very free-thinking, open-minded, but, you know, they're very progressive on things. So it's really cool to see that open communication. So then third floor, pretty much the same deal. Not as many rooms. Another interesting thing about the rooms, though, is that they would have a cookie flavor. They'd have pictures of the cookie flavor around the room. The name of the cookie flavor would be on there. There were a couple that made me sad, like Sour Patch Kid and Almond Joy, which have not been around since early summer of 21. But, you know, when we go to that third floor, that's social media, mostly is what they indicated, what Maddy had indicated to me, and having, you know, their own clusters, but still being able to interact with each other. You know, Facebook and Instagram can kind of communicate, hey, you know, how's your day going? You know, what have you seen? You know, who's complaining about what? You know, did we post similar things? Of course, you're going to post the same video on Sunday nights as each other. That's always a commonality. But I know there's different things they're going to post about more than likely, just because the target audiences are different. And that was kind of cool seeing what you know, Maddy's input on that was. But yeah, I think that kind of covers headquarters. Very special place. Missed a couple things. So second floor, there's another kitchen, but I think that's their general kitchen. So I think Maddy had said the word test kitchen. I don't know if she meant to say it, but it was more like what you know, the lunchroom. You know, you go and yeah, I don't know if there's a coffee machine we're in Utah, but there's snacks, all kinds of good stuff like that. And then back upstairs, back to the social media team. So that's where they do the photography and the videography, for the weekly cookies. They actually do it 2 weeks in advance, because I know that the lineup that they were working on is 2 weeks away. Won't spoil it. Again, people got mad at me for saying Reddit has spoilers, but Crumbl knows about Reddit. They know about spoilers. So if you want spoilers, you go to Reddit. Don't come to me, because I'm not going to give them to you. So just moving on from that, they also have a new podcast thing. I would love to be in that podcast, by the way. But anyways, they have a new podcast thing, and that's up there with the social media team too. So very, very cool place. They're still working on it. What's really interesting is that they had these little plaques. I really wish I took one, because they had left over. But they had these little pink Crumbl plaques that kind of look like the top of the Crumbl boxes, at least the 4-pack boxes. And it's like, whoa, what's this? And then Maddie pointed out the wall that was right in front of us. It was a pink wall. And so she's like, yeah, they're going to cover the wall in plaques. It's like, really, really cool. And I took a picture of it. I don't think I'm going to include it in this video. But what was really cool about that is just seeing, we were there, because I was the last one to get a tour. We were there probably was it 2 o'clock? Their time, 2 o'clock their time. And we get back probably, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock their time again. And someone had already filled the wall. Wow, everyone's gone. Everyone's going to this event, to this party, and I don't know who had that job, if they typically work on a Saturday. But man, they got that done, and it looked nice. It looked very nice. So I know I'm just rambling on, talking a lot, but I just kind of want to relate to you guys my experience, and kind of show different things. So I kind of just jumped into what I got out of the tour, which the tour was after a lot of things. So I'm going to reel it back, and go over a few more things. So the next thing we'll talk about is So Delicious. So Delicious. Very, very nice pun there for the business. But I really want to get into that, so we'll get into that. And that's the next footage.
I don't have Fresca.
All right, So Delicious. What is So Delicious? Well, in Utah, they have this really interesting business kind of method. I don't really know what to say. But there's a type of business out there, and it's more of a niche, and it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. It's really cool. So, you know how Mormons, they can't drink coffee. They can't drink. Now, some will, just like any religious person, they will do things that they want to do, no matter the requirement. But it's what's really the challenge is, okay, well, we can't enjoy these drinks, but we want something flavorful. So, for a while there, sodas were also banned. At least I'm under the impression that they were. And lo and behold, they just decided to reel back on that. They decided, okay, sodas are fine. They're fine. They're other than caffeine, they're not going to, drive you crazy, wire your brain a different way than we believe your brain should be wired. So, what's the challenges in this area? It's like, okay, we can make a profit off of this and bring something special to the Mormon community, to the majority of our population. And so what we've seen is they take sodas, and you know how coffee places are. They've got all kinds of syrups. They don't just have black coffee. They don't just have espresso. They don't just have your basic vanilla latte. They change it up. They've got different flavors. Starbucks and Dunkin' been doing this for a while. So you know how, there's certain places that'll, add syrup to your mixed drinks, add syrup to your soda. Well, that's what we get in these places like So Delicious. And there's plenty of different franchises out there in Utah that do the same thing. They take, your famous little brand of soda, rather it be Mountain Dew, Pepsi, whatever, and they've got a good line of syrup. I got the key lime pie, which is Mountain Dew mixed with cheesecake syrup and lime syrup, and oh my goodness, it was so divine. It was like a key lime cheesecake. Oh, if I lived in Utah, I would be frequenting these places. I would be doing a ton of reviews for you guys. I am going to do a TikTok featuring that drink. I just took a picture. I really kind of wanted to do the, quick 2-minute reviews in the car, riding down the road with everybody. But again, we're in the moment. I didn't want to, hinder anyone's conversations. I didn't want to be a distraction. I wanted to be there and be with everyone. So I just felt like we can talk about this later. We can snap a picture, talk about it later. Also just talk about it on here. So, very, very cool concept. There we go. Business concept is these sodas. And, everyone got a soda and everyone seemed to really enjoy it. Very, very fun. These places also do cookies. Of course, that's another big thing in Utah. While sugar is bad for you, it's not necessarily addictive. So while, you've got to combat these struggles of not having coffee and alcohol as a daily pleasure, cookies became something that was really popular. And that's kind of what got Crumbl where it is not only did they, jump on that concept, but they made it something that everybody wanted to look at weekly. They made it something that caught your eye. It popped, especially the pink box. So, kind of hand in hand, this soda concept and this cookie concept, were both niches per se in Utah. And I think it really is cool. I don't know what other kind of fun concepts they have out there. I'm sure there's a couple more that are popular, but it's just like a vibe. Now, well, I don't want to jump too far ahead because we got to go through where we ate for lunch. But just because Mormons don't drink coffee doesn't mean there's not coffee shops out there. There's plenty, including Dutch Bros, which is not on the East Coast. So just a spoiler alert, we did go to Dutch Bros, which I was so happy about because if we weren't going to go, I was going to get my Uber to take me before I went back to the airport the next day. I was dying to try it. When I found out Dutch Bros was out there, yeah, I got to get it. But yeah, just how crazy fun this place is. And I haven't even talked about the scenery. So I think that's what I'll talk about next. We'll add a video of the scenery. I don't know how I'm going to include Kitchen 88. I guess I can include the photo I took. That food was really good. But, we'll go ahead and move on.
Who played St. George's came up with Mrs. Doubtfire, which closed permanently, and I'm so sad about that. Mrs. Doubtfire was incredible, but I just couldn't hack it. I also want to see Beetlejuice.
Moving forward with kind of the scenery and then lunch, just beautiful. Mountains here are nice in their own way. They're unique. You've got trees growing all up it. But, when you go to Utah, there's not really as much, I can't even think of the word, but there's not trees. There's not a lot of plant life. It's more desertous. And so being able to kind of see how pretty and rocky these mountains are, and then having little spots where you've got red leaf trees or you've got some other trees, it's just so unique. And kind of one of the interesting things that, everyone kind of relayed is that it's different from the East Coast. You kind of feel like you're not going anywhere, because you're in a valley and the mountains on one side, mountains on the other, and it just doesn't look like you've really moved much. So it's very kind of, it's a hard adjustment, I would say, as compared to where you're here in the East Coast in Virginia, and it's flat land, so you're seeing different fields, you're seeing different buildings and everything. And I know there were certain buildings that would pop out, like the aquarium. There's this really weird structure that they had at the aquarium. So you'll have these little landmarks, I'd say, but it's mostly, mountains. And it's just so pretty and so fun to take pictures and videos. So I had to include that. But we ended up at Kitchen 88, and thankfully. So Maddie had two options for us, Cafe Rio and Kitchen 88. I looked at the menus, and when I looked at Cafe Rio, I was like, that looks like, I don't know, it looks basic. Not like I wouldn't try it. I would definitely try it, if I was there for a good amount of time. But to me, personally, when I saw Kitchen 88's menu, oh my goodness. I don't know if it's like an African style, South African style, or Peruvian style. I don't even remember where Peru is. Isn't Peru near Africa? I think they're pretty much related, right? I don't know. I'm an idiot with geographics sometimes. That's not my major from college. I was business management. Don't know if you could tell that from everything I talk about, but anyways, so, we go to Kitchen 88, and everything was so good. But I hadn't eaten all day. All I had was an apple to eat. I was being very bad to myself all day. So, I get this food, and I usually plow through anything that I've got to eat with ease. And then 10 minutes later, I'm hungry. That's why I was super obese when I graduated college, and I've kind of struggled with my weight over the past couple of years. I think I'm getting a little bit better with it. But, I could sit there, for example, if someone's challenged me to eat 4 Crumbl cookies in an hour, those cookies ain't got a chance. They don't stand a chance. I could eat them. But I'm not doing that to myself. I'm really not. Unless Crumbl tells me, you have to do that. No, I'd rather not. I'd have to go on an extreme diet, and that would be painful for me. I can't do that. But where were we? So, I've lost my train of thought. Oh, Kitchen 88. That's where we're at. See, this is so much fun to talk about. It's such a trip. But Kitchen 88, pretty much African style. I got steak. What sauce did I get? I got the peri peri, which I have a thing of peri peri in the fridge here from Trader Joe's, and I've had like a little bit of it, and from my recollection, it has nothing on the sauce I just had at Kitchen 88. Kitchen 88 had this really, it's a sweet sauce, a sweet orange sauce with a little bit of a kick. So delicious. So delicious. So delicious. Oh, and I forgot to mention, but back to So Delicious. That reminded me of Young Gravy's song. I love me some Young Gravy. Really got addicted to him after going to the beach with my brother's girlfriend's friends. I love Young Gravy. Now I love Young Gravy. Anyways, so just Kitchen 88, the steak was nice and tender. The green beans were good. Mashed potatoes were pretty good too. They had these fried risotto balls. Almost like fried mac and cheese, but risotto. So good. And then I tried some of our friend Tyler's French fries. Oh my goodness. I think they were hand cut, hand seasoned. So good. So fresh. And then the sauce. Another sweet, maybe a little bit of a tang to it sauce. Oh, if I wasn't full, I would have chowed down on those fries. I really would have. But man, that food was good. So good. But then we left there, and it was like, let's go to Dutch Bros. Let's go to Dutch Bros. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Now, I had talked to my friend Tasty Turtle, who, I hope she's watching this video. It'd be cool if she was. But Tasty Turtle, she's got a very popular Instagram, and she's been to Crumbl a few times. So we've snapped quite a bit, and she's had Dutch Bros, and she's not really eaten, and had it a lot recently, just because they're like a coffee chain that the quality is not going to be the best. So she's got a local place that she goes to now. So I don't know if that bias kind of snuck into my head, but my expectation was, okay, it's going to be decent. People are lining up. They love this place. Crazy because we're in Utah again. But, here we are. I'm trying it. And so I got the pumpkin creme brulee, cold brew, something like that. I just didn't taste a lot of pumpkin, to be honest. It did have a good amount of creme brulee flavor for a bit. But, if I had to give that drink a rating, I would probably give it a 6. But for the experience, for being able to try Dutch Bros, I really enjoyed it. And I will, if I end out west again, which, I'm a Broncos fan, I would love to go to Colorado at the very least. I would definitely get Dutch Bros again because it's not here. I like eating things that are not available here. So I was kind of bummed out. I didn't have more time because I would have gone to In-N-Out. Haven't had it since I went to Texas. We're approaching 3 years. Has it been 3 years already? No. Yeah, we're approaching 3 years because it was early 2020. I'm just trying to think. Life was a little bit different before that March. So, yeah. So, wow. But that was a fun trip, too, to Texas, not to go off the rails. But, I've had these opportunities to try In-N-Out again, like in California, now in Utah. We'll get there again. And I'll do a fun little video, maybe in mukbang. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But I've got an In-N-Out shirt. My friend Joel, he goes out west a lot. I think his family's, was military, so they've been out there. But really cool to see, this area have so much. And it's funny, I haven't even really touched on so much. There's so much, friendships that we kind of developed out there. Some good conversations, and that party. Oh my. So yeah, I guess I'll keep rolling because, I don't have anything from when we went to Dutch to the party, but just a quick kind of run through on that. Very pretty scenery, curvy drive. We took the scenic route and some nice water. Took some pictures of that. I had to go to the bathroom really bad. I left the airport, didn't go to the bathroom. Was at corporate, didn't go to the bathroom. We went and ate in Kitchen 88, didn't go to the bathroom. So I really regretted that decision once we left Dutch Bros because I was torn up. And it wasn't until I think Nicole said something. She said she had to go to the bathroom and she felt bad about it. But I said, oh, please don't feel bad. I would feel worse if you had said something because I was really close to just losing it. But we ended up at Maverick. So you were probably wondering, what was the point of that? Well, we're at the next point. We ended up at Maverick. I don't remember if there's any 7-Elevens out there. I don't think there was. But there was Speedway. There's some clown. Anyone from Utah know what the clown logo is? And then their crown jewel is Maverick. And so I had been familiar with it. I forgot to look at the most important thing in there, and that was the soda machine. The soda fountain, because Maverick has quite a bit of exclusive Mountain Dew flavors. They've been spotted with the Sheetz exclusive Blue Atomic. They've been spotted with Goji, Strawberry Goji Citrus. And then fan favorite Pitch Black has been noted for being out there as well. Sad thing, though, is that it got discontinued out west. Apparently not out here in the east and wherever Sheetz are. So I can still roll up the Sheetz for my Pitch Black. But again, Pitch Black is coming back next year. Not to throw any curves, but we went to Maverick, and that was a cool little, situation. Getting to see a Maverick. Maybe not one of their nicer Mavericks, but still, it's a Maverick. And a lot of them have Cinnabon in there. So, very, very cool. But I don't want to keep y'all too much longer, so we'll go ahead and jump into the juicy stuff, which is the party, and then we'll wrap it up with how the night ended. So hopefully you're entertained, and I'm having a fun time talking to you. So.
So do you see that green?
Okay, you'll do that one.
Okay, look.
I forgot to address where the party was. Well, the party, and I guess the footage came first. I guess I'll put that at first. But the party was in Park City. So Park City is where they held the 2002 Olympics. And there's a poster at the cottage in the Outer Banks that my family has been going to for a long time. My uncle Billy, I don't know if he went to that Olympics. I'll have to ask my dad that. But he had a nice poster commemorating that Olympics. And there's some other photos, other portraits I gotta go look at down there while I have the chance. But really, really cool to kind of experience that, to go to a former Olympic park. It kind of has me wanting to go to the Olympics in LA. I think that's in 2 years, if I got it correct. But this was the Winter Olympics. I think the Summer Olympics, Summer Olympics for LA. But just seeing all of the different kind of things they used to use. And, they do show their aging. And I'm sure at some point they will get renovated because they're actively using the park. They're actively doing things. They've got a zip line. They have a little roller coaster thing. I forget what you call it, but the really nice, cool thing that you have a little buggy thing. Anyways, and then they have a tubing thing. So, what the little slopes that they would ski down. So now you go tubing. And it's just crazy how you could go down in that tube. You don't control it at all. You just lay there. And the first thought in your mind is, holy cow, is this thing going to tip over? Am I going to start rolling and breaking some bones here? You do sign a waiver to be able to do these things. So that is something to keep in mind. There is a risk. But I guess, if you don't screw up, if you use common sense over your fear, there's barely a chance that that's going to happen. So it's just wild being able to slide down and, while you have this thought of the worst can happen, it doesn't. It's just wild. It goes fast. So, you're nervous to start with, but then, you're fine. So we did the coaster. Tyler made a really funny joke. So, I don't know if I should disclose this or not, but I won't. I'll respect him. But, just the conversation, I think my favorite part, I know I'm all over the place, but my favorite part of what the whole party is we were in a long line for that coaster, a very long line. And, a lot of times long lines can be frustrating, but you got to think about, the situation you're in. And so we're not here just to ride rides. We're here to interact with other influencers and interact with Crumbl and their corporate side of things. And so, that line, while it's still kind of itching in your mind, it's like, okay, we're moving up. We're talking to people like George and Maddie, and we're getting to kind of know them and their stories a little bit more and kind of share ourselves with them. So, I'm not a very talkative person in groups. I can be a little bit more intentional one-on-one. So just being able to kind of just sit there and just listen and kind of vibe well and occasionally chime in to what I'm feeling, to what I'm thinking. I think that was really why we were there, was to kind of get a look into other people's lives besides our own, because Crumbl and, the Crumbl community, from the employees to the fans, there's so much that goes into it. And so just seeing, you know, it in person, seeing these people and getting to know them was really the highlight of everything. So, you know, I really treasured that. But yeah, so only 3 of us after that roller coaster ride. There was 7 of us that went down on that thing. One of us was a little scared. She just rode the chairlift, which is not bad. I mean, you know, I have a cousin who's had anxiety his whole life, and now he's starting to get there. He started to ride roller coasters. He worked at Disney, so it's kind of what motivated him. He started to ride roller coasters, and then, you know, Disney didn't really work out for him, personal reasons, and, you know, he's coming home and he's really intent on learning how to drive, and it's really cool to see people kind of push their boundaries, but some people don't. So she was riding the ski lift, and then, you know, everyone was riding the coaster thing, and so 3 of us decided, okay, we want to go tubing. Maddie had to go set up for the talent show that they were about to have. But me, Nicole, and Canyon, we were like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, I'm a yes man. I do everything. I love to have fun. I'm not very intentional, but I'm, you know, I like jumping into things. I like doing things. So if someone says, hey, let's do this, I'm all for it. I'm not usually going to ask. I'm not usually going to push, and that's probably one of my weaknesses. But, you know, I'm always in it. And so we go up, and again, with the tubing, you know, it's ski lift, get off, and then we'll walk down the trail, get in the tube, and go down. It was exhilarating. They were, I don't know what the word is, but I think that put some fear in them, Nicole and Canyon. But I don't know. I felt at peace. I felt very at peace. I don't know. Not a lot of things throw fear into my soul. The only thing that did throw fear into my soul is I lost my phone. And so I was like, did it fall out? And they were like, no, it fell into the tube. We got it in here. I said, great. So, oh, look, I'm on my phone. So, yeah. But outside of the rides, so they had a talent show. What was really cool, I mean, it's harder as someone, as like an outsider, as an influencer, to kind of connect with all these people doing like a talent show that you don't know. But it was really cool to kind of see people be bold and jump into something uncomfortable and have fun with it. I think that's kind of like a big part of this party. Not just to have fun, but to push boundaries and to get closer. So I think it was really cool to involve us in that, even though we weren't part of the talent show, but we got to see people at their vulnerabilities. But at their highest moment too, that they were really actually talented at this. So they had some food trucks, some fried food, and then there was a Hawaiian food truck, and I can't remember what they were called to save the life of me. Really can't. But the food was so good. And Tyler, and I don't remember her name, was McKenzie or Chelsea. I hate myself for not remembering her name. I never caught it. But they loved it, and they were like, you got to try this. I said, yes, I will. Oh, so fresh. The rice, the tofu, the chicken. They had a slice of pineapple. Oh, so good. And then I got one of the last, so the cookies that they had there were this past week's. So Nutter Butter, there were a few left. And back earlier in the week, everyone in the office ate 2 pieces of cookies. So, you know, my stockpile was depleting. I bought 2 Nutter Butters, and the one I cut up, wiped out, and then the other, did I give that away? I'm having a bad memory here, but I think I gave it away. I think I gave that to my brother. Yeah. Did I? No. This is frustrating, and I shouldn't frustrate you guys with that. I know I got 2 raspberry cakes and 2 nut butters, but the whole point of it is that I ate like one or 2 pieces of the nutter butter, and I didn't get any more pieces because it was gone. So just the fact that they had a few left, that was such a blessing. Because I ate it. I grabbed it. I ate it. I said, oh my goodness, this is so good. And I think it's really the unanimous thought process of everyone this week was the highlight. But I really think raspberry butter cake deserves some recognition too. I think they both deserve to be on the same level. They were both so good. But I did get that, ate the Hawaiian food. We had more fellowship, and I think we were getting worn out. So we headed back to headquarters, where I may or may not show you. I'm gonna look at it real quick, but I may or may not show you some footage from there. Well, I think I will. But we went back to headquarters. We sampled some cookies. So let's look at the cookies that we sampled, and then I'll give my opinion on that. Well, I won't go too deep in one of them because I have a separate review for that. So let's do it.
Raspberry sound good.
Yum. I love the raspberry.
Wait, do you want to tell TikTok what this cookie is?
Roll back up to headquarters. We kind of, what makes me not feel so bad is we kind of, stuck around and helped the crew out, who brought a lot of the things back from the party. We helped them move some things in, so we kind of lifted our fingers there. So we got to look at a little bit more merchandise. Each of us got to take a t-shirt, really cool. I got one with the basic Crumbl logo because I like to have the logo. So we got to do that, and then after all that wrapped up, before that, so that was our last thing, and then we got our Ubers back to the hotels. But before that, we were really pushing. We were like, can we please get a try at these cookies? Now, earlier, Tyler and whoever else was there, I think Tyler, his friend, and then Canyon and Bre, they all got to try the Tootsie Roll. And I said, I got to try this. I got to try it. So, before that, they had a chilled peanut butter. I had it warm when they did Mystery Peanut Butter Week. And just like Nicole was saying, I preferred it warm. But it's still so flavorful. Could use more raspberry. I agree with Nicole on that as well. And it's definitely a top tier cookie. I think I would give it a 9 just because of some of the imperfections. Always got to kind of, take things that perspective. But kind of get that peanut butter and jelly cookie again. Ooh, yeah. I don't care if it's warm or if it's chilled. Either way, it's a delicious cookie. So we got to try that. Everyone, of course, loved it. And then Tootsie Roll. I thought it was a solid cookie. I got a more detailed review. But I did think it was good. But I wouldn't say it was elite. And I wouldn't really compare it to a Tootsie Roll. Like, it didn't taste like a Tootsie Roll. It had their more milk chocolate base, a little dry, chilled, and then like a malt icing. So it was like a frosty on top of a chocolate dessert. And I gave it like an 8 out of 10. So I thought it was good, a little dry. Wouldn't really put it top tier by any means, but it's going to be interesting. Won't tell you when that's coming, but it was a nice experience. And I actually took one of those home, took one of the malt ones home so I can get more of a second opinion throughout the week as I eat it before it's released. So yeah, other than that, that really wraps up the whole trip. Really nice meeting Nicole, Tyler and his friend, Bre and Canyon. And kind of, I've seen Nicole's TikToks, and I think I've seen one of Bre's. And I swear I've seen it on Instagram, if anything. I swear it was on Instagram, not TikTok, that I saw it. But I've seen their TikToks. I've never seen any of Tyler's content. Went ahead, hit that subscribe button for him. I, followed both Bre and Nicole. Just because, I want to keep up, want to see what interesting content they have. And a thing I do pretty bad job of is subscribing and following new people. But hopefully, now that I have followed them, my For You page will kind of start showing me, and my homepage on YouTube will kind of start showing me more interesting people to make connections with. They brought up this lady named Barb Norton, and I don't know if I searched her, if she just randomly came up, but I hit a subscribe button on her. Very cool lady, very enthusiastic, reminds me of myself in a way. So I don't know, I know this video is probably 40 minutes long, and not a lot of you are tempted to watch it, but see, this is what I love to do. I love to experience and then unpack. I'm not the type of person that goes around and vlogs it. Now, if you got me on some interview type ish, say, hey, let's do an interview, or like a podcast. I'm just going to naturally flow into that as long as you throw some questions around. But I'm not typically the one to kind of document it as I go. I like to experience it. And, I don't feel like I have the best memory of things. And so it is always good to have a documentation of things. But that's kind of like why it's good to have connections. Why it's good to have friends and family where you have those people. Like my mom, she takes pictures of everything. Maybe not video everything, but she takes pictures of everything. And, it kind of, you look at the pictures and it jogs your memory. So, while it can be annoying, and on some occasions, it is important. It's very important. So, some of you out there might not take my word and trust it. But you've got other people out there that's, show me at the event, show the event going on. And so, you've got that to kind of look at. So, I do appreciate Crumbl. Maddy, you were the best. Very positive, very outgoing, good driver, as everyone was saying. And you drove us everywhere. You took us everywhere, and you treated us. And you made us feel like family. So it just makes me even happier to just continue this relationship with Crumbl, to continue doing Crumbl reviews, and continue giving my all. So, I do hope that, the future with Crumbl stays very bright between me and them and other influencers, and that everything just keeps rolling on. So, what are you guys' thought, I guess? Have you ever had a day where everything just went so perfect? Because that's how I felt about this day. The only thing I was sad about, no zip line. And I almost missed out on that Nutter Butter cookie. But, the way the day went, I'm happy. I'm very happy at heart. So I'm just kind of letting myself unpack that on a Sunday and take joy in that. It feels good. So, if you'll subscribe, this is not my norm. I don't usually do long videos. It's usually a quick, this is the food item, here's what I think, and let's move on. But I think it feels good to kind of unpack myself. I don't do this a lot, and I'm not a vlogger by any means, but I like doing this. I like changing it up. So other than that, we will see you tomorrow for the review on this week's lineup. And I got another Crumbl review before the day wraps up, but the one y'all watch, that's tomorrow. So anyways, I will see y'all around.